Hi, all. Welcome to Outside the Tavern, episode 7. And if you're not aware, or if this is the first video that you're watching of this series, this is unscripted, off the cuff, maybe has a blooper or two in it. I just turn the mic on and I go. So, what would you like to talk about today? I think the one that's been rattling around my noggin is sacrifice. Now, I have had the occasion to talk to people who fought in World War II and Korea and Vietnam on the American side because I haven't been to any other country but Canada or Mexico. So I had the chance to talk to them when I was a younger man. And I learned about the struggles that they had on a day to day basis. They would tell me small snapshots of their lives. And they tried to keep it PG rated because, well, I was a younger person at the time. And when I got older, they got less than PG rated and very eye opening. And, well, let's just not talk about that here. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the sacrifices that we sometimes make. Well, these war veterans were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice, much like policemen or firemen. They carried heavy burdens in their spirit and in their minds for those sacrifices. Sometimes it would be just surviving it. Well, people that they loved and cared for did not. And they tried to make sense of it. They tried to understand it. And sometimes life will come at us so fast and hard that we can't understand it. We can't make sense of it. And that's okay because it has to be okay, right? I mean, it's not okay. It is definitely not okay. It's probably going to cost them quite a bit of therapy or, counseling of some sort to get themselves stable after such events. Now, I was talking with someone earlier this week about counseling, and when I was a younger person, there was a stigma to it. If you were in any type of counseling or, God forbid, psychiatry, that type of thing where you saw a psychiatrist, then you were immediately looked down upon as a weaker person. And I've always, even when I was young, I always never understood that because you're trying to get help, right? So shouldn't that be a good thing? Shouldn't that be something that you would want to do? But at that time, they looked at it as more like hogwash. I can fix myself. And spoiler alert, we rarely can. I mean, I'm sure there are individuals out there who can do it and who have done it, but the majority of us, we don't have those gifts. We aren't blessed like that. So we have to go through therapy and we have to rebuild ourselves at times. And it's a journey. That's what life is. It's a journey. You take a step, you move in that direction. You take another step, and you just keep going, one after the other. That's how progress happens. So I think that upon reviewing in my mind some of those stories that I will not mention here, I learned the value of sacrifice. The moment when the chips were down for people, that they will just lay it on the line and see what happens. And I admire that bravery. I think the people that do that are amazing on a next level. And I wanted to do that, honestly. But yeah, I had a medical condition that prevented it from happening back in the 80s. So that kind of sucked. But I wanted to be one of those people where I would just go, hey, this needs doing. Let's go do it. You know, I don't mind making the sacrifice to do it. It's worthy. Well, it's something that I feel is worthy. Now, everybody has their own take on what worthiness is. To me, I felt the effort would be worth it. To other people, perhaps they would have a different opinion. And that is 100% A-OK. See, everyone views the world from a different angle. Everyone sees things differently. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I would not want to live in a world where everyone thought the same and did the same and it was accepted. I wouldn't want to be in that place because individuality is crushed, creativity is crushed. Everything that makes life worth doing and worth living at that point to me would be crushed. So I think that what I should say is I believe that we not only shape our own destinies, but I believe that if we have that creativity and we put it out into the world, that maybe, just maybe, somebody will learn something from that creativity. Or, better yet, here's an example. I have my friend Kat, who voice acted on one of these videos. He looked at one of my poems and he created it, or he did not create it, I should say. He made adjustments to it that made it even better. Adjustments that I would never have seen, never have thought of, never have done, that made that particular piece so much more awesome because he had his hand in the work. So I think that's what life is about. If we all come together, if we all have our hands in the work, so to speak, we can make some beautiful stuff that way, I think. That's my opinion. So, two coppers from an old lion. Anyway, moving on. The last, sorry about that. The last thing that I really wanted to talk about was grace, because that's the final wrap up to this. You have sacrifice, you go through it, you do whatever it is you do to make the world, in your opinion, a better place. Your sacrifice meant something, but it is the grace afterwards that we should acknowledge that you have done this or that thing, that we should honor it. So, you know, take a moment, look back at the people who helped you get to where you are, who provided grace in your life, and be thankful for them because I sure am to every one of them. I even said thank you to a person I didn't know if I would talk to ever again, just because it is an amazing thing, I think, that we touch each other's lives and spirits and help each other move on despite everything. That is life, my friends. And I hope yours is an amazing one today. I hope that you're living your best life, as they say, that things are good for you. And if you did stop by the tavern, if you did watch this video to the end, I am grateful for you. I know I keep saying it, it sounds like a broken record, but it's also true because this is my calling. This is what I'm feeling pulled the most to do, to lend my creative efforts, to try to share wisdom with people, try to share compassion with people, and, well, love. Not on an intimate level, but for the love of people is what I'm saying. Anyway, your day, it should be an awesome one, I hope. And if you stop by the tavern anytime soon, I will be waiting for you with a cup of tea or perhaps a spiced, cider? You look like a cider person. You want some cider? We can have some cider together. Take care of yourself, my friend, and goodbye for now.